Hello and welcome to Chabot News for March 28th, 2024. My name is India and today we'll be covering military-connected women's event at Chabot College, Baltimore Bridge collapse, and anti-Semitism at UC Berkeley. In entertainment news, Julian will tell you about popular YouTuber Mr. Beast who strikes Amazon deal for competition reality show. And finally, in sports news, Diana has the latest updates on Beekeeper recovers swarm. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. In California, controversy over allegations of anti-Semitism at UC Berkeley have made national headlines recently. Now, a civil rights complaint has been filed by the Anti-Defamation League and Brandeis Center against the Berkeley Unified K-12 School District. The legal action alleges the system is rife pervasive anti-Semitism, including from teachers. CNN's Nick Watt has reaction from students.
One of my friends was called a word that I hadn't heard before, kike.
That's old school.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't even know it existed until recently.
He's a Berkeley High School junior. He's Jewish. Kid on the left is not. They asked us not to use their names. Guy in the middle, an educator with Jewish Student Union.
I think this was a thing before October 7th as well, that Jewish people are one of the last ethnic groups that you can be racist towards because...
In terms of it being socially acceptable?
Yeah, because they're more like white people.
You accidentally write down a number wrong. Oh, it's because you're Jewish. Haha.
Right.
The Jews messed up again. Why? In one of the bathrooms at the school there was written, kill all Jews. That has since been taken down, thankfully. But
But how does that make you feel as a Jew?
It makes me feel sad. The people in my school don't care as much about me.
I asked a kid at one of the local high schools.
Because you deal with the Jewish Students' Unions at all the schools in the Bay Area, right?
I asked him, so what have you experienced on campus in terms of anti-Semitism? And he said, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy. The occasional swastika or two.
People feel really forced to pick a side in a war, which is crazy. I'm sympathetic towards the people of both nations.
It's another thing people are saying and passing in the hallways is oh, what side are you on? Because I don't want to pick a side. This is it's a really complicated thing that's going on, and it's not so black and white as the school is teaching it and as everybody is learning it.
What I see a lot is things like school boards, things that are more systematic is where this culture exists.
If we could please keep the noise down, I can call on the other students.
The microphones only pick up the speakers. It's noisy. Some Jewish students spoke about the new ethnic studies curriculum.
The second slide implies a false and harmful dichotomy that you must believe that either Jews or Arabs have historical claims to the land.
Another student had a different opinion.
I found the curriculum to be very informative and open-minded, and it has contributed so much to my understanding of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
The mother of a Jewish sixth grader spoke.
Yesterday morning, before he left, he said to me, Ima, which is mother in Hebrew, when we're walking through the city today, I'm going to put my hood on over my kippah, over my Jewish head covering that he wears all the time. He said to me, I'm scared.
Little apparent sympathy in the crowd.
How much more import does it have when it's coming from a teacher rather than from a fellow student?
It's not all the teachers. There are certainly great teachers. Their words have more weight to them, and students are oh, if they're saying that, then I should say it too.
There have been school walkouts organized by some faculty members in support of Palestine. Some students stay home or stay in class.
During the walkout, I could hear it from my math class, and one of my friends came in and told me they were chanting "F*** the Jews."
And are Jewish kids trying to hide their identity?
I'm sort of stuck in between because I don't want to get harassed more, but I also want to be proud that I'm Jewish.
So how do you walk that line?
I'm still struggling with it.
Since that civil rights complaint was filed, one Berkeley high school teacher has been put on leave. The superintendent said in a statement their district, like their city's, quote, stand as a beacon of free speech and inclusion and stand against all forms of hate, unquote. But a number of teachers replied with a letter to the superintendent claiming that What's happened there is tied to a small group of parents with ties to Israel. The teachers write that those parents have taken this as an opportunity to wrongfully claim that advocacy for Palestine is tied to anti-Semitism. The search continues for missing people in Baltimore's Patapsco River after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed after being struck by a large ship. The collapse was captured on video. The lights flickered on the Singaporean-flagged container ship Dali as it veered off course shortly before crashing into the bridge. Baltimore Fire Chief says sonar has marked at least 5 vehicles underwater. Meanwhile, Maryland's Transportation Secretary says 8 construction workers were on the bridge at the time of the collapse. 2 have been rescued, with 1 taken to the hospital in serious condition. Governor Wes Moore says the ship lost power and issued a mayday before the collision, which allowed authorities to stop traffic from going on the bridge. No crew members were injured. Moore says preliminary investigation suggests that the collapse was an accident and not terrorism. He added that the bridge was fully up to code and had no structural issues. The NTSB has launched a GO team to investigate. The bridge serves as the outermost crossing of the Baltimore Harbor and is an essential link of the Interstate 695 or the Baltimore Beltway. Authorities say about 35,000 people use the bridge every day. They are being detoured to tunnels. Now, we have to go to Julian for a look at this week's entertainment news.
Thanks, India. Dr. Dre isn't letting his medical issues hold him back. The hip-hop icon says he's working to stay healthy following his 2021 brain aneurysm. During an interview on the This Life of Mine with James Corden podcast, Dre said he's had 3 strokes since then. On Tuesday, March 19th, the 7-time Grammy winner was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. YouTube star MrBeast has pinned a deal with Amazon for a new reality competition on Prime Video. It's called Beast Games. MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, says that the show will feature a $5 million prize and more than 1,000 contestants. According to Donaldson, it will be the largest game show in history and will break many other world records. MrBeast is already one of the most popular channels on YouTube with 245 million subscribers. Netflix previously claimed the record for the most contestants and biggest cash prize with its Squid Game: The Challenge reality competition series. It was released in November featuring 456 participants and a cash prize of $4.56 million. Now we go back to India for more local news.
Thanks, Julian. 1 person was killed and 3 people were seriously injured Tuesday, March 19th, in a 3-vehicle collision involving an individual driving a pickup truck the wrong way on the westbound Interstate 580 connector that leads to the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. Lanes 1 and 2 of westbound 580 at the westbound I-80 transition in the MacArthur Maze remained shut down to traffic as of 7:30 a.m. The sequence of events that led up to the deadly collision and what exactly occurred in the collision are under investigation. But it has been confirmed that the driver of the truck was traveling the wrong way on a major freeway. The driver of a gray BMW was killed and the driver of a white van was seriously injured. Both the driver of the truck and a passenger also had major injuries. Some media outlets reported that the driver of the truck had robbed a smoke shop in El Cerrito earlier in the morning. Though police have not confirmed that information, we sent our reporter Greg Driscoll to get the opinions on how people feel about traffic safety in the Bay Area.
To slow down. There are a lot of people that, me being like a freeway driver too, like a lot of people are always like flying past like slow drivers, like either on the slow side or on the fast side. Either way, they're flying past everybody on the freeway like super recklessly.
Because I think it's a lot of car accidents happen, and I've had some family members in car accidents, so like driving safety and stuff like that, like it should be taken like very seriously.
What do you think? How do you feel? How do you feel it's safe? How do you feel it's not safe?
I feel like it's not safe, but like a lot of people like just drive for like for their safety.
For the last few weeks, I would say, there's been a lot of, police going out there or, police chases, whatever has been going on. Just a few weeks ago, let's just say that there's like a big, huge little accident towards the Fremont district. And I think that it's not safe enough.
Thanks, Greg. We have our top 5 segment with Cole Wagner.
Thanks, India. My name is Cole Wagner, and I'll be sharing with you my top 5 donuts. Starting with number 5, we have the Maple Bar. Brown sugar and maple icing over a sweet cream donut, what's not to love? Perfect for dipping into a tall mug of coffee, this is the best way to make a spiritual escape to Canada, or Vermont if you're feeling patriotic. At number 4, I'm going with the double chocolate cake donut. Delectable, decadent, dare I say sinful? This donut delivers on the chocolate promise with a dark cocoa batter topped with a rich, creamy fudge. Guarantee your spot in semi-sweet, sensory bliss by asking for chocolate sprinkles on top. My number 3 donut is the pink sprinkled donut. Made most famous by none other than Homer Simpson, these cartoonish confections go down easy and keep you feeling animated. Nothing beats the feeling of whimsy and excitement when you lay eyes on these rainbow-sprinkled, pink-coated halos of fluffy goodness. Taking number 2 is the glazed old-fashioned. Simple yet elegant, these donuts remind us of a bygone era. This blue-collar morning delight keeps us honest, as you can't deny the appeal of its no-frills offering. This selection is perfect for the minimalist inside of you. No fuss, no muss, just a simply sweet, nostalgic treat. Last but not least, my number 1 donut is the apple fritter. Looks like a cow patty, tastes like an apple pie. This donut takes the cake because it does everything the other donuts cannot. The crispy, crunchy nodes of dough, enhanced by a thick, sugary glaze and elevated by the inclusion of fresh apples and cinnamon, make for a culinary experience that hits all 4 quadrants. I could easily eat 1 or 3 of these on my own, but they're also perfect for sharing. This donut satisfies down to the core. That's all for my top 5. Hope I didn't make you too hungry. I'm Cole Wagner. Now back to you, India.
Thanks, Cole. The majority of the Supreme Court justices appeared skeptical Tuesday of a nationwide ban on mifepristone. That's the primary drug used in the U.S. for medication abortions. Protesters rallied outside the Supreme Court Tuesday as the justice heard oral arguments. Last year, a Texas district court judge ruled the FDA was wrong to approve mifepristone in 2000, and also when it expanded its use years later. If the High Court agrees with the appeals court, access to mifepristone might be limited. Last year, 63% of terminated pregnancies in the U.S. were performed with this method, according to the Guttmacher Institute, an organization that focuses on reproductive health. A group of former FDA commissioners wrote in the Friend of the Court legal brief that challenging drugs on ideological beliefs could result in the weakening of the FDA's authority. A final decision from the High Court is expected in July. Dog owners know every now and then a pooch runs off and you have to chase it down. But what do you do if you're a beekeeper and your bees run away? Yes, bees can run away. Recently, a whole swarm of them pulled up the stakes and left their hive in a Georgia woman's backyard. She recovered them, but it was a lot harder than chasing down a dog. Ryan Tisminski has more on the story that's got a whole city buzzing with interest.
I mean, I see people walking their dogs, but so I think I asked her if she was walking her bees.
Shum lives right next to the tree where the bees stopped.
I thought I was special, or my home was special, that the queen had chosen us. But Tiffany said the queen was just tired, and this is where she decided to stop.
Tiffany Blevins is the backyard beekeeper whose bees swarmed away while she was building a shed in the backyard.
We heard a huge hum above us and looked up, and it's just a swarm of bees, a huge mass of bees.
I asked the bees why they ran away, but they were dodging my questions.
So, why did you swarm?
So, Blevins answered on the bees' behalf.
Swarming is a natural reproductive of the bee's life cycle.
She explained that when a hive gets too full, a swarm of some bees will fly off with a new queen to make their own hive somewhere else. That's what happened on Sunday.
They got too many bees for the amount of space that they're allotted, and so they split.
Back to the rescue, Blevins had to climb a ladder and scoop the bees into a bag, hoping the queen would be in there. Where the queen goes, the bees follow. And follow they did. The bees all grouped up in a bee box.
The bees are all now safely back in their hive. Thankfully, they didn't sting anyone during their escape. Now we're switching over to Diana for sports news.
Thanks, India. A frightening experience for a skier in Japan. On March 4th, Sean Toms from New Zealand was skiing around the mountainous terrain of Hokkaido, Japan, when he uncovered a completely hidden waterfall and fell into the natural hot spring below. Tom was wearing a GoPro camera and captured his whole ordeal. Here's a look at what happened. Tom was not hurt. Although he faced quite a challenge getting out of the hot spring, he eventually made it to safety even though water was gushing down on top of him. NBA stars LeBron James and JJ Redick are talking all things basketball in a new podcast. The show is called Mind the Game and will feature the occasional guest. The duo say they want the podcast to be organic, so as of now, they don't have any corporate partners or sponsors. Mind the Game will drop Tuesdays with episodes available on all podcast platforms and YouTube. That's all we have for this week's look at sports news. I'm Diana Cabrera. Now back to you, India.
Thanks, Diana. Shirley Raines was named CNN Hero of the Year in 2021, but she is not resting on her laurels. The well-known personality with millions of followers on social media took her charitable efforts to Sacramento to continue to give back. Sade Brown has the story.
You guys are doing this, right? Okay, I'm gonna put you somewhere else.
Shirley Raines, a remarkable woman who has dedicated her life to helping those in need.
Go from there. You guys got that going. What's else? What else is going on, Rick? What else are we missing?
It all began 8 years ago, offering makeovers on Skid Row in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and San Diego. Her organization, Beauty to the Streets, has since grown with over 5 million TikTok followers.
Candy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Chocolate.
Okay, let's get you a burger first, okay? You want chicken or beef?
Burger, please.
To provide clothing and hygiene products, makeovers, wigs, and haircuts.
Yes, my last head for the day, King. Why, you need your hair twisted?
Raines and her team traveled to Sacramento to do the same.
My TikTok and Instagram community really asked me to come out because they said the homeless population was so bad in Stockton and Sacramento. And they asked if we can come out. And you know, we take care of Las Vegas and Skid Row.
But it's not just about the physical transformation. Cooking meals to give individuals.
I made mac and cheese. We've got some green beans and potatoes. We've got rolls for them. We've got Gatorade and water.
Experiencing homelessness.
Appreciate it. I really appreciate how she's doing everybody and giving back to the community. Very blessed from her.
Raines knows firsthand the struggles they face because she herself was once homeless.
Based upon what I went through and all my life circumstances, I'm the person they counted out. And a lot of these people in the streets are counted out as well.
That deep understanding brings not only knowledge, but kindness as Raines continues her tour of compassion.
It's okay not to be okay. That's just the main thing. I don't have a house, it's okay. I smell, it's okay. My hair, it's okay not to be okay.
Hoping to make a difference, even if it's not just one life.
You may look like it's the end, it's not the end.
You know what color? If you would like to help and donate or volunteer for the organization, you can visit their site at beautytothestreets.com for more information. The Veterans Resource Center recently hosted an event for women who served in the military. We sent our reporter Diana Oselenko to cover a military-connected women's event for Chabot.
On March 14th, Chabot College celebrated Women's History Month, honoring the incredible contributions of military-connected women.
For me, it's important to honor women right during Women's History Month, not only because I'm a woman, but because, we have women veterans that serve fearlessly and fiercelessly.
Both Rosen and I are members of the founding Veteran Resource Center. We were in on day one, and the reason why we wanted to, create this space and honor our veterans is because we do appreciate all the sacrifice. We know I come from a long line of veterans.
Amidst the aroma of delicious food and the buzz of animated conversations, this event provides a platform for military-connected women to connect with fellow students.
I'm really proud of all women that are able to go out and be brave to do this kind of work. And in general, I'm just glad that Chabot can support this program and also every student that has been in the military.
Chabot College pledges its unwavering commitment to supporting military-connected women and fostering a culture of inclusivity and belonging on campus. This is Diana Osaulenko reporting for Chabot News.
Thanks, Diana, and thank you to the Armed Forces for celebrating who served in this world. For all of you who were once Hayward, Bret Harte bears it appears Bret Harte Middle School will likely be relocated to the Highland School campus. It will be adjacent to California State University East Bay, after district officials say they discovered the school's current building was unlikely to survive another earthquake. While the school has survived all the earthquakes since 1952, its proximity to major hazards like the fault line puts it at risk of incurring significant damage. Sienna Condit Gordon, principal of Bret Harte, said its proximity to the current Bret Harte community and university makes it an ideal location. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.